That's really good. I think that's more aerated than our sample was next door.
So, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So from a business standpoint, this is not great because when you're we're going to show you a little experiment on the deal, and this was around 118 before. So it's we're right there. 118 on the money. As is, that was straight out of the barrel. So this is the rye that we just discovered that was in the proper toast barrel. We're gonna release it this week, call it Rye January, a spin-off on the Dry January. It was a great rye, 9-year rye, Kelvin barrel, 95.5, great out of the barrel. It didn't get me super excited, but then we started playing with it with our little tool here, and it totally changed it. So there's two ways to lower the proof. One way is to add water to proof it down. The other way is to evaporate the alcohol. So and we use both of those tools sometimes, but sometimes you don't want to add water, and sometimes you just want to add air and evaporate some of the alcohol. So with this one, we want to introduce air, and we want it to evaporate on its own. So we saw it at, did you guys get a shot of it at 118? Yep. So you know it's 118. So and we'll kind of count, I don't know, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we'll say about 15 seconds. This has different speeds.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it does. and every time you hit the button, it goes to a different speed. So like, and then you turn it on again. Now it's slower, so it keeps changing on the speed. So we need to. The one we develop will have different. We'll be able to control that a little bit more. So just this was 15 seconds. 15 seconds on that, and let's just see what it's at. So now it went down. So it went down about half a point in 15 seconds. Okay.
I think I've been on the faster speed.
Might have been on the faster speed. So let's do another 15 seconds. So essentially, then this would be at 117 or lower if we're on a higher speed. Need to calculate the RPMs of this thing. That's the lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay, very good. And you drive for a Peterbilt, did you say?
Roughly 15 seconds. Maybe my count was a little fast. I'm used to the bartender count, where it's like 1, 2, 3. So every count is a quarter ounce, So, all right. So let's see. So technically, this should be around 117. And look at that. Look at that. Oh, 116.87, 116.9. So the numbers work. The math works. So now, when we find the right amount of air on something, using a tool like this, using evaporation, and not adding water to it, then we can calculate the difference in proof, change that to seconds, and then we kind of know what it is, and then we can recreate that on a larger scale if needed. So now, when we find the exact proof point for taste by allowing the evaporation, so once we get that dialed in on whether it's 116.5 or whatever it is, then when we dump that barrel, we'll do it on a larger scale and agitate it enough to where it evaporates very fast, and then we get it to that proof point, and then essentially it will taste like it does after it's been aerated on the smaller scale. So, and it's totally different than that. Wow. We should have shot the other one that when it got really, really sweet, we should have seen what the proof dropped to.
I think we did.
Did you? What did it go to?
It went from 118 to 116 again. It was like
116 even?
Not even, but it was like right around that 116.
This one is 95. This one is 85. The other ones you have available are 125.
It's crazy. It has this like caramel apple thing going on to it.
The apple wasn't even on the original. Like I was getting more
No.
cherry on the sample.
Yeah, it was
before we
like
started.
dill on the
Yeah.
nose, and then like cherry and leather.
Yeah.
And now it's got this like caramel apple thing after a little air. Rye genuine.
You think you have a favorite of the
That's
two?
good.
That's good. That's good.
That's good.
Okay.
Nice.
So step one to.
Okay.
We can't use the
That's
word.
got a lot of like sweetness from that wheat cask.
It's not a good word, not for men at least, and don't disrespect the women. Just like,
Base of that
hey, honey, you got the frother?
5%.
Get out of my face.
Corn obviously.
Oh man.
Dude. Yeah. So now
Let's
that,
get Andy to try. See if he can see which one he likes.
Very good, yeah.
we already know which one's better.
Yeah, but let's just get a second opinion.
I think
really good.
Jeopardy that I
So now let's. I always try to.
really
I always
good.
try to take it to the extreme. So we'll keep it going. So we'll throw like another 30 seconds on it.
Take it to a minute.
2017, so just 8 years old.
That's really good. I think that's more aerated than our sample was next door.
So, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Timeline
So
here,
so let's just see.
we're at 10 seconds. He's got the.
So let's just see two. Because the volume matters when we're introducing air to it. We're at a lower volume because we've been drinking from it.
Yeah.
So
You can get down to like 114 over there.
yeah, so it's essentially going faster at the
30
at the
seconds.
lower volume. This has been going for 30
Yeah,
seconds.
I'm keeping track of the time.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so let's just do. Tell me at 45 because we can always add more.
2, 1, boom. 45 seconds.
All right. So now, so what would the math?
I talk about whiskey a
So
lot.
that would be another point and a half. It was 16 and a half. So this essentially would be 115. But since the volume went down, this should be less than 115
If it's linear.
if it's linear, which I'm sure it
don't
changed.
think it is.
Oh my gosh!
112.
113.
It's worse than linear.
Well, but that's
Yeah.
that's likely due to the volume because there's
yeah.
less volume in it.
Makes sense.
It does make sense, but at some point I see
Yeah.
where you were going with that. At some point, it's a diminishing return. So, oh my gosh, it changed
Money.
again. It changed again. Well, I don't know if it's better, but it totally changed it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like the grocery store caramel apples that you can buy.
And I go up there every day normally to get some when they are in season, man.
You do?
Oh yeah. I'm a caramel apple fanatic. Now you know.
Knows that then.
More sweetness comes with the air.
Oh
too.
yeah. Speaking my language, buddy.
More apple, more sweetness with the air.
You could almost call it something like that if we weren't calling it Rye January. But this thing's
Yeah,
this
that's the
thing's
problem. Though.
crazy.
You go, golly, a caramel apple. That does sound good.
Wow.
Even sweeter?
Wow. Holy moly. Man.
Citrus is back. On the nose, anyway.
That's awesome. That is so good. Oh, it softened it. Like almost if you were introducing water and lowering the proof.
Yeah.
In what in your mind what you think it would do to soften the proof. That's what happened there. Like it is. There's no sharp edges. There's no anything on
No,
it.
it drinks so easy.
And that was what was it? 112 or 113?
113.
113.
That drinks like way less than 113.
So we talk about business every once in a while. So
yeah.
from a business standpoint, this is not great because when you're adding in water to proof it down, which actually this will be our next experiment. So now we'll get it to 113 using water and blind taste it next to this and see which one's different. But from a business perspective, using an aeration tool to evaporate the alcohol to lower the proof, you're also reducing your yield. So 118. So I'm getting.
It's funny because-
I'm getting 4% less volume out of it by doing this.
And but go ahead if you don't mind. Walk them through the importance of understanding your business metrics. So every business has a certain metric, right? In this case, the whiskey business is based on volume when you're selling a barrel or trying to get the most out of it. So volume becomes an X in an equation, because if our volume's low, our sales are going to be low, or I have to double the price. And if you don't have the consumer to pay the price, you got to lower the price. Now you might be just breaking even. So you don't want that volume to ever get so low that you're basically running into a corner, or backed into a corner, right?
Yeah, yeah, and right now, like, we need our volume. Like, I mean, there might be 60, 70 bottles of this as is out of the barrel. So it's like, we need every bottle we can get. So now if we're shortening that by 4%, I mean, that's 2.5 roughly bottles that we're just evaporating. So like, yeah, that's,
See if you can proof that down, buddy.
yeah, so we know that's excellent. So now,
Share it with the folks in North Carolina, or share it with your family, or share it with yourself. If that's what you want to do. Very good.
I just don't come in and
How fast does
thank
water
you.
impact the whiskey, or proof it down?
depends on the whiskey.
Okay. So it depends on rye, mash bill, or what exactly?
No, and more depends on the viscosity, in my opinion. So if it's an oily whiskey versus thin versus, I'm probably going to need more water than that. But
I'm like, dude, drop one drop in. I'm like,
I did 4.
yeah, we're at 116.5. So we're at where we were after. So what'd you say? 5 drops?
I did 4.
Four
There's
drops.
3 more.
So 4 drops emulated 15 seconds based on the volume he had. So 15 seconds of this, from a proof standpoint, equates to 4 drops at that volume.
and so are you going to take it down to your favorite?
We'll find the favorite. So this is part of doing our due diligence to find the best version of the whiskey to put into the bottle.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, they have such
I mean, so let me cycle it real quick. And cycling it like that kind of aerates it a little bit too. But yeah, we're still at 115. And what did we say? 113 we're trying to get to?
113 is where you're like, oh, that's good.
But I've been on the property there, and the guys that I knew that were there aren't there anymore. But I've been there 7 years. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's cool how they do things there.
Sit for a second. Should be getting close. Yep, oh yeah. It needs to, so we're about there. We'll let it, it's jumping around by half a point just to.
So that thing kind of aerates it as well when you like.
When I
So I can still taste the finish on it.
oh man, we're right there. All right.
So now you guys are going to try this at 113 with water versus
Yeah.
air.
So the businessman in me says, man, I hope this one beats that one, because now we're adding 4% volume instead of taking away 4% volume, and then more people get a bottle.
We golfed, did some fishing, got out on the lake, and
It's different on the nose.
always enjoy visiting North Carolina.
It's very different. This is a exciting experiment.
Oh man,
This is-
I'm having fun.
I'm like
watching
playing
it.
it out in my mind and thinking about this stuff, like as we're just talking about it now.
And I tell people similar to what I told you. I haven't drank
I think it's better with water than it is straight out of the barrel.
Interesting.
At least
Okay.
on the nose. I mean, nose the two of them.
Whatever we do to the
I
It's definitely more
don't-
open.
I don't get the caramel apple that I do on this one.
I don't, and I still get a little bit of the dill.
113. One was air rated and one was.
Yeah, we used evaporation to get to the 113, so we took it down from 118, so it dropped 5 points through evaporation versus using water to proof it down. And so we're taking away volume versus adding volume.
This one smells sweeter still.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
Well,
All right.
everybody's taste is different. I've had people, oh man, you gotta go buy the, you gotta go spend $100 a bottle, get it home. Oh my God. Yeah, but after doing the perfect trail,
Nothing wrong with that at all.
That's what I tell people.
It's weird that whenever he's doing his thing, I always look
I
at
know,
his arms.
I know.
I look at his arms.
I know. I was
Is he
looking
getting
at his arms
goosebumps?
too.
It brought out the caramel
It's getting a little
huge.
bit.
The caramel's huge with the water.
Really?
Yeah, the apple's not as there. If the water's richer, and the sweetness is underlining the richness, and then on that side, with the air, it's fruitier with more of a sugar sweetness, and it's not attached to as much caramel or you know what I mean?
I don't know yet.
Wow. Yeah.
I was hoping to have something today.
The finish is better on the one that doesn't have the water. Like the finish.
Well, the finish on this one's softer. So yeah, this one's sweeter from like almost like a dessert finish, kind of like the Double Jeopardy stuff, where it has like a creme brulee finish kind of thing going. So that's cool that it has that, but it doesn't have. This one's softer, more well-rounded, and I love the
21% bourbon, single barrel.
So
Makes me want to put 2 drops of water in it and then hit it for 30 seconds.
yeah, that's where my mind was.
You know
going.
what I mean?
All right. Well,
Like,
now we
split
gotta
the
find.
difference.
Yeah, now we gotta find the because there's value in doing both. What happens if we blend the techniques to where now we hit it.
Water it to 116 and then
add
air
the water.
it. Yeah.
Yep, that's where my mind was going. All right, now we got to do that.
So these are good because I've got almost 4 clips of you guys just going through your process, and even I'm sitting back and recording, feel like I'm learning something.
Dude, there's merits to each one. The richness on just the water version is really nice.
Yeah. So the more we learn and the more experiments we do, the more work we put into every barrel when we dump it.
Yeah.
Because now we have all these tools in our arsenal to try to make the whiskey the best. So now and we don't want to miss out on what a whiskey could be. Because normally, like if we would have tried it, and I'm like,
patents and processes, IP, technology, machinery that can be developed to sell to everybody else. I go, now this is interesting. Now we're getting somewhere. Like my brain go to
looking at
the new building might need a whole like
5 in the air?
sensory thing, like going. Yeah. So hold on.
Yeah, 4 in there.
Yeah, up do
2, 3,
Keep going. Keep going.
5, 6, 7.
7's good. Because now we're gonna try to meet halfway, and you never know. Based on what we know about blending, like magic can happen at the exact ratios and the exact process to make it happen, and we could stumble upon something to where it's like, man, now some flavor component unlocks based on the process of blending both techniques of evaporation and proofing it down with water to get it to the proof point that it's the best whiskey at. So yeah,
with the water. So you added 7 drops of water.
7 drops of water. Probably one.
But we weren't very scientific on the amount of volume, so we should have measured the volume
Like an ounce of whiskey.
yeah. So we're at 115. So now 115.3. So now we need to take it down. No, we need more than that because it depends on the speed and the volume. So I'd say let's go 30 seconds. 30 seconons at a high speed. This is getting. Yeah, you got it?
And go.
That's like a medium speed. There we go.
Everything back there is either bottle a month or bottles that have already been pre-purchased. We've done like private group releases.
So it's 10 seconds.
Somebody spitting your cup.
30 seems like a lot.
It does seem like a lot, especially with the water.
But what if it comes down to like 111?
20 seconds.
Let's go ahead and stop. We can always do more.
Man, you gotta commit.
We can always do more. Oh, I'm committed.
He was like, "Do you see this place?"
I get apple again. I get apple.
Man. So water
And
and
the, the proof too, huh?
Very faint on the dill.
Okay.
Man, I don't know. This one might be the best.
Well, don't taste it yet. See what the proof point is.
Oh, true. Getting excited about this.
113.6.
I think we're about right. Yeah,
he was almost
113.8. Okay, so we wanted to get to 113.
Yeah.
So then we need another.
Would that another 10 seconds do it?
Probably 15.
Yeah, I was thinking 13. This guy's probably thinking we're crazy over here.
No, not at all.
10 seconds. 13 seconds.
He just efficiently worked his way through a flight and said, double vision is my speed.
Yeah, I'd
Double
say
vision. All right. Good deal.
I have one of these.
Where we
Very
at?
cool, yeah.
We're just under 113. 112.7.
Whiskey, I feel the
112.7.
time.
So the full 30 might have been like exactly what you needed to get to that 30. You was right the first time.
Right. Hurts a little bit. I think he's right.
He was right.
Whiskey in modern day, I'm not a big fan of for my palate. It's just not my swim lane. But the 10 plus.
I get a little dill and a little apple now.
And then like the pre-1990s.
Ooh. It's got this like savory note to it that's like.
I was getting a tinge of cinnamon.
That one is empty, but we have
Tinge of
Just yeah,
Does that mean a little?
a little bit. Yeah,
Tinga.
it might not even be a word.
This is kind of a cool, like little push cart decanter that doesn't have anything in it. Music box.
I get a hint of dill on it still. Yeah, it is
Most
more
of them
rich.
have whiskey in them, like these here we dumped and enjoyed. That was an 8-year, 101 proof.
I don't know, man. It's kind of a cross between the two, really. Which I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. We try to.
And then we got to run these experiments fairly fast because it's evaporating right now too. So it's evolving and changing. So as I go back and compare it to certain ones,
All the dynamics change.
this is changing.
Would
So
the topper still help that though?
the topper would help it. Yeah.
I think the complexity is probably the most on this one, but the finish and the ending is falling short from the one with just air from it. And I really thought there was something great on that finish of just the aerated version.
He does some cool stuff for us too. He actually
Is that the one you just had, just the aerated version?
Yeah.
He does Blendery.
It had a hint of bitterness in there that it didn't have before.
On the finish?
The ones that
Yeah.
he's doing most
But it went away
recently,
fast.
including the wood over there that you see leaning up against the wall. That's actually wood from.
And that's the one that you guys aerated and added water to.
Lawrenceburg, Kentucky.
Yeah, we what I thought was going to take it too far on the aeration process. Maybe it did,
Most of the wood went.
but it's still really good. It's still better than the cast strength. So now after all this, I kind of want to try that cast strength again.
And this one is kind of some of both worlds. Like it's not as rich as the one with just water, but it does have a bit of both.
different cool projects that we can kind of repurpose it.
If the finish is longer on this one than the one that was just water.
Yeah, the one with water has a little more bite, has a little more like rye punch to it. To where this one didn't have that.
I think
and
the
that
water's
one really
cutting the
doesn't
oil a
have-
little bit.
Yeah, I think there's a little,
Ready for you, Charlie, and then again.
and that might change like over time.
Yeah.
To where when the water really can marry with the whiskey, because it does take on water well, or else we wouldn't even like that.
I agree.
All right, now I kind of want to try it cast strength again because you can forget what it was like. I don't even get dill anymore just from it
Sitting on the table?
sitting on
Yeah.
the table and airing out. I don't get dill on it anymore. Man, it's actually really pleasant on the nose now. So it was right at 118, right?
Yes.
That's about what I would expect. So what would it be? We've been
117.8, 117.9.
117.85.
Dang, Richard called that on him. Man.
It's not his first day. Yeah, so really you can, depending on the volume and the starting proof point, you can predict over a duration of time how fast it will evaporate in the glass. So that's how we knew roughly what it is, just because he's done this enough to where it's like, okay, yeah, it's probably going to drop like 0.5 points because it's been, I don't know, 10 minutes.
24
whatever.
minutes.
24 minutes? Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Man, exactly.
That is so rich.
It got way better.
Just sitting out and relaxing.
Ooh. It's sharper. Man, it's good. It's really good. But I do prefer it. I do prefer it with more air. Gosh, that is lip smacking good.
I'm salivating. Yeah,
That
it's
is
just,
that is an awesome.
it's really
barrel.
nice.
Wow.
The legs too, man.
You got some greasy fingers, Richard. Where's the grease come from? Do you oil your beard? Why are you laughing? You put oil in your beard?
No.
No.
You just,
I could see your face from here. You like this. You the crookedness in your eyes are like, you're like this.
Well-
Where does he see it? I can't see shit.
I'm the guy that even looks at our glassware to make sure it's polished, you know,
Hey.
because I don't want a guest to be like, oh, there's Richard's greasy fingerprint.
Hey, I don't know. We've all been touching that glass. I don't even want to own that.
That grease didn't come from me.
That's our hero glass. That's our main sample.
Yeah, I mean, it's sticking to the, like, I don't even
Yeah.
see any legs.
That's what I
like
mean,
they're,
yeah.
that's
subtle.
It's
it's
so thick.
it's just hanging on the glass. Yeah, it's like Richard dipped his fingers in there.
Oh man.
It's great.
So to conclude this one, you guys would recommend, for one, I asked Richard this the other day. I said, man, Richard, what do you think the key is to making a successful whiskey station here at Whiskey TV? And he said, doing what we're doing. Sometimes you overthink the process, but I came in here and learned the whole process of blending. And Tim's got worksheets. You bring friends, you bring family. He's got great barrels, great whiskey. And it's this kind of stuff. Just after he was at the house yesterday, it reminds me, we just got to keep doing what we're doing, because I feel like I learned something. And I'm watching you guys' faces and go through your process. Oh, that's fun. So it sounds like if you're at home, get distilled water if you want to add water. Get a, I ain't gonna call it what's in my head right now, but get an aerator if you have one of those. Blend it up, and then mix it too, and see which. Use your bottles and see what you think of.
So I think what we need to do, and I think this makes sense, because normally we offer a tasting experience, and it's a flight of 4 limited release whiskeys. I think we do another experience that it's like, okay, you get one whiskey, and we're gonna walk you through how to aerate it, how to add water to it, how to find the right proof point, and essentially you're creating 4 different whiskeys, but you're really finding out how to enjoy one of your favorite whiskeys, how to enjoy it how you want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a cool
love that idea.
experience.
That's fantastic.
And then have them document, okay, this many seconds of aeration, it dropped this amount in proof, versus adding water to lower the proof and what that does. And I think that would be an eye-opening experience to where people could take that home, find their best bottle, and then find a new version of that best bottle that they like even more. That'd be pretty cool.
Hey, post, share, keep it whiskey.